All right, in today's video, I wanted to talk about the first official Lego dinosaurs, which were Technic, and some other interesting parallels I found recently. So if you saw my video on the 9702 control system building set, we built the DACTAsaurus. It is the fourth model that we built, and it just kind of walks forward, and it also has a light for its eyes. Very cool. And we also talked about a cable car. There weren't necessarily instructions, but there kind of were. They were in the teacher's guide, but it wasn't necessarily like full featured instructions that we're used to. And it was quickly brought up in the comments that they actually mirror two builds from 8891 Idea Book, which was from 19... Where's it at? Yeah, oh yeah, right there. 1991. So this set was from 93. This was printed in 1991. So let's use my Aqua June bookmark and get this open. And yeah, it's another dinosaur. And check it out. Look at this picture here. It kind of looks a lot like that one. I wonder if it's the same model, just from the side. And it's just interesting that it kind of makes you wonder the timeline of events. For this set to come out in 93, they must have been working on it for a while. They had to write all the curriculum and teacher's guides and all that kind of stuff. And they may have to be like certified. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. But it's just interesting that, yeah, it's a very similar dinosaur. We'll actually check it out in motion just a second here. And I also mentioned a cable car because, yeah, here it is, a cable car. And it works in a pretty similar way to the other one. Unfortunately, I probably have the pieces to build this. It was actually fairly tough to build this guy because you have to have some older parts like these links here and this. I probably only have two of these lift arms, beams. I don't even know what you call those. It's a very old piece. It even has like the ridges under here for the old bushings that had the ridges that would lock in. They're just older pieces. So actually there's a lot of light bluish gray in here because I had such a hard time trying to find period appropriate parts. So as much as I'd love to build this, at least for now I'm not going to. But maybe I can throw some parts on a wanted list and try to get some more of these guys here because that's definitely something. I might have those length. I guess that's 8. These are 10, so those were much harder to find. I barely found 2 in my collection, and it took, I don't even want to tell you how much time. But yeah, there's something to be said about these old idea books. They are available online. There are scans. When I get time, and when I try to clean off this table over here, which is why I'm working on this video now, just so I can kind of take some of the stuff apart and get it out of the way. Because yeah, I want to get a good scan of this. I think I can get a little bit higher quality than some of those online. I'd love to build everything in here. Look at this monstrosity full of pneumatics. I mean, like, I thought it was so cool as a kid, but I knew I would just never have that many pneumatic cylinders. Maybe I kind of thinking back, I might have built like just the arm. I don't remember if I had this book or not. I know I had idea books, and I know I would get ideas from them, but certainly never had, was never able to build full models. Actually, if I remember correctly, my cousin, who I talked about in that video, who built the little robotic car to go through the vents in his house, I think he might have had this book, because I remember seeing it as a kid and flipping through and just wanting to build, like, check out this submarine, man. Again, full of pneumatic cylinders and functions. That's so awesome. I'm sure there might be some people out there who have built these. I'd be curious if there's any YouTube videos like where you can actually see them in action, because we can see what they look like. We can see the pictures here, but I'd like to see them actually doing their thing. I love this era of Lego. Like really trying to spur some creativity. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and let's see these in action. So let's first check out the DACTAsaurus, just in case you didn't see it in the last one. Let me back up a little bit here. It's a little derpy going in reverse. But when you're going forward, the tail really tends to even things out a little bit, and it actually walks pretty good. Actually, I'm going to move him back. All right, so let's check out the DACTAsaurus. I don't know. This one doesn't really have a name that I know of. But yeah, he moves at a pretty good clip. Let's see if he goes backwards. I think so. Yeah, not bad. So let's just let's set up our little dino drag race here. So I'm going to hold, this should work, hold up and right at the same time, and we should have them both going, and see which one is faster. I think it's pretty obvious who is faster. The DACTAsaurus, I guess that's what I'll call it. But yeah, he got a little hung up there on the idea book. But yeah, I wanted to make a quick little video because those kind of things are awesome, and I do really appreciate people in the comments that bring up that kind of thing. I know Brickstar has talked about this particular dinosaur all the way from '93, because if you like Google first Lego dinosaur, it's probably not going to be this guy. They're probably going to be thinking about, and I don't fault for them for this, like the kind of Big Fig style dinosaurs. So if that's what you're talking about, yeah, the first ones came out whenever they did. But as far as like official, you know, in this case, brick built dinosaurs, it was in the 90s, early 90s. And this one even, you know, kind of predates this one, but this wasn't an official set. It was in an official idea book from 1991. But as far as first official set, I think I'd give it to this one. But I'm always interested, you know, if people out there know something I don't. Maybe those little poly bag or something that was only released in a certain country or whatever. I'd still be interested to hear it. I don't really care to like give definitive answers on what the first dinosaur is. I just like the discussion that grows from it. Just like this, where, you know, I wouldn't have thought to build this guy. I had to order this online because I wanted to be able to just flip through and show it to you just like this, rather than relying on scans. Yeah, check that thing out, man. Sorry, squirrel. That is so flippin' awesome. At least 3 motors. Yeah, I think it's just 3 because it's got the DACTA control center in the back there. I love this stuff. But yeah, if you have anything to contribute to the conversation, be sure to do so in the comments. If nothing else, join us in Discord. We also talked about it a bit there. It's just a really great way to interact with the community. I mean, lots of it. We're on Reddit and Eurobricks. We're all over the place, but the Discord's kind of our central kind of hangout, and where this kind of discussions happen. Huge thanks to the channel members for helping keep the lights on here and helping to keep the videos coming. I'm trying to do one a week. It's been it's so far so good, but I can't make any promises with all I've had going on in life. Thanks to all of you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.